I'm just in a salty mood today, so I thought I would talk about some of the really annoying questions that just kind of trigger me a little bit when I get them. Some people say that there are no stupid questions, but I disagree. I think there's plenty of stupid questions in any field, whether it's reptiles or whatever else exists. But I would say that it's better to ask those stupid questions than to make these stupid mistakes that you might end up making if you don't ask those questions. So keep the stupid questions coming, I guess, if you have to, but I'd rather you think about what you're asking before you do, just so I don't get annoyed. I'm complaining about people trying to improve themselves, but I'm gonna make this video anyway. You might understand once I start pulling out some questions. So I've been kind of keeping track of what I've been asked. Anything that I'm going to mention, I've been asked at least about a dozen times or more just this year. So if you ask one of these questions, I swear I'm not targeting you specifically because you have a whole family of people that ask that same dumb question. The first one is oddly common, I don't know why, but as an example, they'll be like, I live in Texas, here it's 110 degrees, I'm getting a ball python, so I don't need a heat mat, right? Or I live in this other random city where it's this hot, which is perfect for this animal, so what's the point in me getting a heat lamp? The animal's probably gonna be inside your house, which after I ask you, you're like, yeah, it'll be in my house. But it's not the same temperature in your house as it is outside your house. It's 30 degrees outside. It's 75 in here. Unless you're have so little money that you don't have any electricity, to which you wouldn't be able to afford in Reptile anyway. Why would your house be the same temperature as it is outside? I don't understand. But if it's 115 degrees outside and you have air conditioning on, your snake doesn't care what the temperature is outside. So that's the first one. That gives you a pretty good example. Even if it was, say it was 115 degrees inside your house, or 95 degrees even, your ball python in that case, you're gonna have to cool it down and get how do you cool an enclosure down? Get some fans just for your enclosure to do the opposite. So if it's a certain temperature outside, yeah, you probably still need to regulate your animal's enclosure. The next one, there's a lot of different kind of variables in it. So I'll just give you an example first. Someone will ask me, so next week I'm getting a ball python. They're not poisonous, right? And basically they'll say, I'm getting a blank in this many days. They're blank, right? I guess it's good that you're verifying information, but it's things like, I'm getting a corn snake in 2 days. They can eat fish, right? Or they'll be like, I'm getting some different geckos probably next week or something for my birthday, so I can keep them all together, right? I'm sure that's fine. And they'll basically be pretty sure about something, but just in case they'll ask anyway, which is why they're asking for reassurance or confirmation that they are correct when, sometimes they are, if it's something simple, but most of the time, they're not. There's impulse buying animals, which is sometimes just hard not to do. Even if you do impulse buy something, hopefully you'll know something about it or have an idea of how to care for it. And I don't know where people even get the ideas that you can feed your corn snake fish or keep your 4 ball pythons together or whatever it is. So I'm glad you asked, but if you're asking that, then what are the people thinking that don't ask anything? What do they have going through their mind when they get a ball python? But seriously, the most popular is by far, I'm getting this snake, it's not poisonous or it's not venomous, right? They know that they'll probably be fine if they're gonna get bit, but just in case, I just wanna ask GoHerping just to be sure, because you don't want that python poison. Another one, this is not as common, it's been maybe 3 or 4 times, and it's always this exact 2 species. It'll either be someone asking, can I breed my ball python and corn snake? Or, when are my ball python and corn snake gonna produce? It's been a while. There's genuinely people apparently, I'm pretty sure they're not joking. They seem pretty genuine the way they say it, where they either have their ball python and corn snake together or they're going to put them together and want some extra details on breeding them because they really want those ball python corn snake hybrids. Now, as far as I know, that is physically impossible for those two. There can be hybrids between some different pythons. My best guess is because they're the two that are often grouped as when you're getting a snake, you want either a ball python or a corn snake because they're the 2 most popular. So that automatically means they're somehow related and you can have a corn balls. If somebody ever successfully breeds the 2, it better be called a corn ball or else I'm gonna be very angry. Either way, I'm sorry, you can't breed ball pythons or corn snakes. If you successfully do it, I'll give you my channel. Why do you feed frozen to your snakes? Now, this is a very broad question, but there are always very little specific things that make no sense as to why people ask me. In fact, people often get angry at me on just about a weekly basis now that I don't feed live. I'm a bad owner because I am not giving my snakes live food. Firstly, because they're going to lose their natural instinct of eating. Why is that important? They're not going anywhere. Even if say my ball python like escaped and he's outside, I want him to survive, right? He needs that instinct. Well, he's gonna freeze in like a day if he gets out, first of all. But second of all, an instinct, literally the definition of an instinct, is something that you intuitively or inherently have or know. You can't lose an instinct. That's not how it works. Even if you did, it doesn't matter. They're in captivity. Now, yes, animals in captivity, if they end up escaping, they're gonna have all sorts of downsides and problems. Like, their immune system won't be as strong, or they won't know like how to do anything. Anybody that's concerned about their snake losing their natural instinct, I'm gonna be more concerned that they're thinking about releasing their snake at some point, because I don't know why else that would at all be relevant. But that's not the only reason. Another is it's natural. Why wouldn't you do it? Like, natural is always better. No, I've said this like 12, 13 billion times on the channel. Just because something's natural doesn't mean it's good. That's why lifespans are so much longer in captivity for almost any animal. Seriously, I've said that so many times, I'm so tired of saying it, but I'm saying it again because I feel like I have to. I don't put risks outside into my enclosures just because it's natural. You want to remove the risk because it makes your pets live longer. Next up, I want to think this one's a joke, but I don't think it is. And that's people that just say frozen food just isn't as good. I don't know if you mean like taste good or like healthy good, because like you got like a frozen pizza and it's not as good as the one you made at home. But a frozen mouse or rat is nutritionally no different than a live mouse or rat. The more you freeze things, the more it'll begin to break down and lose its nutrients and stuff, but freezing it once, anything that's lost is not worth the risks that go along with feeding live. That argument, I have yet to see any evidence of supporting that, but it's an interesting one. And finally, it's just that your snake is a wuss. Most of the time this is a joke. Other times people are like, are you seriously just like, are your snakes that frail that they can't eat a live mouse? I just won't comment on that one. Something else I'm frequently asked is, what is impaction? Now, this is a perfectly fine question. Like, impaction is not some common word that you hear if you're new to the community, but the people that ask what impaction is are the people who 12 seconds before were arguing with me that sand is perfect for leopard geckos or bearded dragons. Luckily, this isn't as common as others, but it's common enough that I feel like I need to mention the fact that if you don't know what impaction is, please stop arguing for sand. There's many valid arguments for using sand or using it in mixes with different animals. Although I usually avoid it with pretty much anything, there are people that get away with using it well. But they know what impaction is, they know how it works, and they know steps on avoiding it. So I don't know, it just, that one's just kind of funny and sad. Funny, sad cringe when people ask what impaction is while using like 12 gallons of sand. And the last one I have right now, this is like the most innocent one. It's just kind of a fun one, I guess. And that's when someone's like, I'm 11 years old, can I get a corn snake? Or I'm 12 years old, can I get a leopard gecko? It's always 11 or 12 usually. I don't know, I can't choose for you. I guess it's up to you and your parents, and it's very often though. Just look at my most popular video on ball pythons versus corn snakes. Just go through the comments, you'll find everyone asking if their age is allowed to get into a certain animal. So I'm glad you're concerned. Oftentimes the kids are the best at doing the research and verifying information and stuff, so I appreciate you asking, but your age does not have anything to do with it. We've picked up animals from 50 to 60 to 40 plus year old people that have no idea what they're doing. I almost guarantee you're doing better than them. It's fine. If you're 11, get that corn snake, if you're ready for it, and if your parents are okay with it, and if you can afford it. There's variables, but you can do it. I believe in you. But those are like the 7 or 8 most common dumb questions that I get asked. I'm sure I've forgotten a lot of others. I hopefully won't have to do a part 2 to this, but it'll come someday. So if you ask one of these questions, sorry for kind of making fun of you. It's kind of funny. Thanks for doing your research and for asking questions. They're just not always the smartest questions, is all. And that's coming from me, somebody that knows nothing about like fish or like look at the things I didn't know about axolotls or anything. I had so many confusing questions, so you can make fun of my dumb questions too. It's okay. I feel like I should plug something in this video before it ends. Christmas is almost here. If you ordered merchandise, this design is not available right now, but if you order some other merchandise, it might arrive by Christmas, but I can't guarantee it now. It's a bit too close. But the designs will be ending in January, so you can go ahead and grab it anyway. If it doesn't arrive by Christmas, it should arrive like before the end of the year. So that's fun. So keep the questions coming, but that's all I've got for this video. So I'm Alex, and thanks for watching.